Today's topic is body positivity and how it seems to be that this body positivity nonsense is driven by the mainstream media, the governments, and the elites. There seems to be this massive psyop happening. And when the government tells you, when the mainstream media tells you, we're here we're here to help you, we're here to look after you, you need to be skeptical. If I would say that the crazy conspiracy theorists over the past 2-3 years have been far more accurate than scientists promoted by the government recently. It's got out of control. When the government over the last couple of years has been saying it's for our health, we need lockdowns for your health, while simultaneously actually killing people, killing the economy, killing the Australian people. When I see a body image activist being promoted to Australian of the Year, Australian of the Year doesn't matter anymore. Anything that's promoted by the government doesn't matter anymore. Anything that the mainstream media promotes that they pretend is to help you doesn't matter anymore either. None of this matters anymore because they are in turn trying to hurt you. They're trying to hurt you. The insanity of promoting this body positivity, I believe it's designed to make sure that we decrease the longevity of Australians, make sure they die younger. So Taryn Brumfitt here received Australian of the Year, and I believe it's a psyop by the government. What they do is they select advice. They give I think some great philosophers in the past have talked about the government won't come and kill you. The government won't come and attack you. What they will do is they will convince you to destroy yourself. And it seems like that's what they're doing right here. So let me bring up, I just wanted to bring that up and just go, okay, we have Australian of the Year that is actively hurting people. If you take their advice, you are going to die young. So this is a classic video. I should give this a thumbs up. If anyone is at home watching this, give me a thumbs up as well. The lies and destruction of fat acceptance and body positivity. So this is FBE Capital. This is a magnificent video. Magnificent. We have to watch this and reply to it. FBE Capital, if you're out there, well done.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
2015, she's already overweight. What do you think her BMI is there? She's got to be at least 20 kilos overweight there. 2015, she became an influencer. This lady, I don't know her name. Very similar to Australian of the Year, body positivity. And then a few years later.
So I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm having knee pain, some ankle pain, like when I go downstairs.
I'm having knee pain, ankle pain. Literally 6 years later, she's slightly a little bit larger. Her skin is a little bit worn. Her skin's a little bit worse for wear. And she's in pain. For 6 years, this lady was telling all of her audience that putting on weight and accepting your weight is beautiful. Now she's suffering. Most people this weight, they don't live to 50. They die before they're 50 years old. They have a heart attack in their 40s.
Like, I haven't done a body positive video in kind of a while, and I wanted to sit down today and film one. I'm not feeling good. I don't know when we're going to be able to just stop, like, differentiate.
before and after, people. You don't, the government knows what they're doing. The government is deliberately. I want to tie this in just briefly. Why the Australian of the Year is a body positivity spokesperson. It is because, in my opinion, that the age demographic of Australians was becoming too we were becoming too old and living too long, and the government doesn't want you to live too long, because as soon as you retire, you become a burden on the state. They want you to live and work hard and pay taxes and become a slave to the system up until just before you retire, so you can't cash it out. And if you're overweight, you're going to develop diabetes, you're going to develop heart conditions that will guarantee that you won't make 65 or your 70th birthday. So this is ingenious by the government to incentivize people to make sure that they die early, to make sure that the system and the elites take all your money before you get to cash it out. And it's even more ingenious to make you do it to yourself, thinking that you're doing something good for the world. And when you look at Taryn Brumfitt, we've got before and afters here, 2015 through to 2021. She went from, yay, body positivity, was a grifter. She was grifting off her audience all the way through, stealing their money. And then at the end realized that her entire career was a scam and it was killing people. And that's the same thing with Taryn Brumfitt. The future will only be possibly millions of women that buy into this bullshit dying.
Getting between plus size and normal. Size 14 is not the health standard. Like I believe bigger people, smaller people, anyone can.
Look at her skin. She can't cake the makeup on all the time. Her face looks swollen. Her skin looks awful. 6 years later, when reality hits and the doctor tells you that you're going to die.
Can be healthy, but I know I need to get some of this excess weight off me because I'm not feeling good anymore. And that's
reality. Reality hits and it hurts. Don't buy into the propaganda, people. Oh man. See, the person who shames you, the person who tells you how it is always seen as the bad person. But when someone's telling you that you're doing something wrong and maybe you should adjust something, maybe you should stop eating so much bad food, you're a little bit overweight, maybe you should work on hit the gym a little bit more, maybe you should work on the way you behave around people, your social interactions, maybe you should work on your career and maybe get an education. The person who gives you good advice is always seen as a bad person. They're always seen as someone who's trying to make you do something you don't want to do. You never like that, right? Children don't like being told that they have to eat their vegetables and get an education. They don't like being told simple things like that. What has happened here is we have now demonized and shamed the people who are giving you good advice in society as if they're the bad people, when in fact the person who tells you and gives you good advice and gives you the hard truth about what's going on with you is always the person who has your best interest at heart. And to turn around and just attack them the way that the government and modern women today have behaved, it's just evidence that modern women are children. They have not grown up, because that's how a child behaves. I don't want to eat my vegetables. I don't want to get an education. I don't want to improve myself. That's what a child says. And it seems like that's what modern women have become.
what frustrates.
And look what I'm eating here. Reason why it took a while for me to go live today, I've got some boiled eggs.
The most because I think it's destroying a lot of young minds. Anyone can be healthy, but I am not feeling good. I will see you guys very soon. I love you. Bye. I am having gastric bypass surgery.
Now, I think we can all agree that this girl 7 years ago seems to have been the sweetest, most innocent, most positive individual, and it almost pains me to criticize her. But no matter how infectiously sweet you are, your message can still be very flawed and counterproductive, especially when it's conflicting with your own actions.
I owe an explanation because this was something that I was so passionate about, like embracing your lower tummy, because I know we all got lower tummies. But ultimately, I started developing problems with my lower tummy.
Not only are you giving people false hope that they can just live this unhealthy lifestyle,
Me owning it with cellulite. Yeah, that's really not healthy at all.
and have no health problems whatsoever, but you're also causing serious damage to other young people that look up to you. And don't just take my word for it, listen to her own words several years later about the problems with her messaging
Her skin is a mess.
on her channel.
I think I've done some damage on my channel that really just isn't okay, that I feel really, really bad about.
Exactly. She should feel bad, and I'm surprised people aren't suing people like Taryn Brumfitt. How many people have taken advice from someone saying it's okay to be fat? Don't worry about that. Be positive about yourself. And then that person dies a few years later because they don't do anything to lose the weight or change their eating habits or get some exercise. This person has been online for 6 years promoting body positivity. How many people have died because of her bad advice and grifting? That's what she's been doing. She's been grifting off something that is bad for society.
Okay, that I feel really, really bad about.
Now, this is just one example of a body positivity
Wow.
and fat acceptance influencer preaching a faulty lifestyle for years and then falling prey to her very own messaging, which makes this such a perfect illustration of everything that is wrong with the fat acceptance and body positivity movement on social media. Because currently, there are thousands of fat acceptance influencers on Instagram, YouTube, and especially on TikTok, where body positivity is just morphing into a dangerous cult.
So the idea here is with Australian of the Year is that Taryn Brumfitt was the beginning of this. If that is true, if she started this whole body positivity, you go girl thing, then the ripple effect of this, she's now influenced every other woman out there to become an influencer like her. If she's the source, when in the future we calculate how many people have had serious physical, mental, and even death side effects from this poor messaging, is Taryn going to be held responsible for such destructive messaging? It's what you do and what you say. You need to take, if you're this is the message that you're putting out, and people take that messaging on, spread it around, and in the future people die from that, then she needs to be held responsible, not made Australian of the Year. Because when you tie it in, let's just say my conspiracy theory is that the Australian government wants people to die earlier so that you don't get to cash out your superannuation. They just want to take it when you die. They also want to make sure that you die alone, fat, with a bunch of cats, so you can't pass that money on to any children. It's a ingenious strategy by the government to destroy your life and make sure you die young so they can steal your money, not to mention inflation and taxes and everything else while you're still alive. Imagine if this wasn't a conspiracy theory, which I don't think it is. I think everything I'm saying here can be fact checked. It's like I'm living in like some sort of it's like living in the Matrix during the lockdowns. I remember everyone scared of this mythical flu that killed 1 in 100 or 1,000 people. And we had to lock down everybody, and the media just kept telling us that you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to stay inside. Don't talk to anybody, they even said. Curfews, more lockdowns, bashing people for not wearing masks. And I remember looking at that, looking at the data, making my own conclusions. People like myself during the lockdowns have been vindicated. We were 100% accurate with our predictions of what was going on during the lockdowns. This is easier to predict. Being obese, being overweight, just to protect your feelings will kill you. That's not rocket science. It's this is a magnificent video. This guy did quite a lot of research. FBE Capital. Shout out to FBE Capital if you're out there. This is a channel that needs more clicks.
There is, again, plenty of body of research. You do not eat yourself into type 2 diabetes.
Determinants of weight. Diet and exercise only account for 15%. 15. 1-5. Genes and socioeconomic determinants.
It's socioeconomic determinants. That means that you can't afford to buy some eggs. Even with the insane inflation, 12 eggs was $4 at Aldi. 12 eggs. You can't eat more than 4. I'm going to have 4 eggs and I'm going to be full. Have some oats with a lot of fiber. A bag of oats. You put it in the microwave with some water. It's not even $1.50. This is not a socioeconomic thing. Not at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. The price of broccoli has fallen recently as well since the lockdowns have ended. You can get a kilo of it for $4 or $5 now. Boil it up. Put some soy sauce on it. Dirt cheap. Yet these people are spending $20 and ordering pizza. It's the decisions you make. It's not your socioeconomic status.
Account for 85%.
I believe bigger people, smaller people, anyone can be healthy, anyone can be unhealthy.
Why do you need to be a certain size? Why do you need to look a certain way?
These people are selling the idea that you can be as fat as you.
You'll notice that they're very positive when they're young. And then a few years later, when the doctor tells them that they're going to die at 35, 40, they won't make 50, then everything changes. When they need to have some serious operations done. Taryn, what are you doing? Some doctors should be Australian of the Year should be fact-checked by some doctors next year, just to make sure that, because the propaganda's got out of hand to the point where the conspiracy theory that the government is trying to kill you by announcing Australian of the Year as a body positivity nut job, that conspiracy is more realistic than the idea that it's better for you to be overweight. My conspiracy theory is more realistic than the idea that body positivity and Australian of the Year should be taken seriously. That's insanity. If that is true, the government's not your friend.
You want to and still live a healthy, carefree, and happy life. But is this reality, or are they selling you a bunch of lies?
In the golden era, a cunning salesman.
Because this lifestyle is not going to hurt you the next day or the next month. But when we look at the results over multiple years, we start to see the true long-term effects of this movement and the damage it is doing to their bodies.
Ultimately, I haven't been feeling good. I'm done with the battle. I'm sick of not feeling good.
Honestly, my circulation is so bad. Like, literally, I'll sit on a bench and they'll be purple.
They'll be purple. They'll be purple. Wow.
Why do you need to be a certain size? Why do you need to look a certain way?
I am going to have the gastric sleeve weight loss surgery.
This was the girl only a few years ago that was telling everyone that fat is beautiful. Now she needs to go clog up the system, the health system, to fix her bad decisions. Yet she spent years as a grifter, convincing everybody that her life choices were the best way, and clearly they never were. Everybody that followed her should be suing her, should be put in jail. Australia, the last couple months since these criminal lockdowns that we had to deal with, so many of the bulk billing doctors are no longer bulk billing. They can't afford to do that, so they're now charging because of the bad decisions of this female-dominated society that we have in Australia. You have less access to doctors on the cheap because of the insane decisions by the people who voted in this corrupt government. And it's all tied back into this. I can't help but look at this in the Australian of the Year and just go, this is insanity.
Now, there is a positive note here, since this lady did come clean in the end about all her medical struggles, as one of the very few, and you almost have to commend her for doing so. However, this still doesn't change the fact that she's been promoting this lifestyle for years, which led to her feeling miserable, and her honesty about it hasn't always been forthcoming.
I don't want to be.
Yeah, exactly. What type to measure the damage done? Now, it's almost like in the past there were people who used to advertise cigarettes, the Marlboro Man, people like that, and it just created a whole bunch of lung cancers, and people were dying from cancer from smoking cigarettes, and those people back then, we are not so sure whether they had the science to back up that cigarettes were really dangerous back then. But today, we do have the science to back it up. They're just blatantly lying to you. So, if the science backs it up, and anyone that can Google any sort of scientific article on being overweight, I don't know too many doctors that they wouldn't be a real doctor if they would promote being overweight. I think everybody agrees that it's bad for your health, and to promote it and to grift on the internet and get donations and get people supporting you online, it has to be a form of psyop or criminal activity by the government. There's no other way to see this because it clearly is. It's insane.
Known as a liar and not telling you guys about it. Like, I see the comments every day about it, and I'm just like, I have no bigger regret in my life than not sharing the tummy tuck.
So if you agree that it's a major problem that these body positive and fat acceptance influencers are lying about their actual health, then please drop a like and comment down below to push this video out to as many people as possible.
It caused me so many problems, like to literally the point where I asked my doctor, I'm like, can we just get rid of it? Like, it was just constant.
You see, this is exactly the
Wow.
problem I pointed out in my earlier video, the insanity of body positivity, linked up here. Check that one out, it's a good one.
The insanity of body positivity. Okay. FBE Capital. Good editing. A lot of time and effort would go into these types of videos.
Because the biggest disservice these people are doing for the people that are struggling with their weight is not showing or telling the full story. If you're going to recommend people to not mind their calorie intake and not to worry about size or weight or pursue an active lifestyle, then at least be honest about all the problems that come with it But that's not what they're doing. These fat activists go on and on for years, giving people false information and false hope about how healthy they truly are. However, in that very same period, she also underwent laser lipo.
If any of you guys are new to my channel, I did get laser lipo on my jawline.
Lap band surgery and lap band reversal surgery.
Get lap band surgery specifically in Mexico at age 16. Although I did lose about 60, maybe 70 pounds.
What type of a psychopath does this? Goes out there and tells society that this is good for you. Don't listen to all the haters that tell you that you're overweight, when the haters are the ones that actually care about you. If someone's telling you you're overweight, you need to change a few things. They're the good guys. They're the ones that care about you. Yet she's out there telling people it has to be some sort of a crime. What type of a psychopath does this? It is insanity. What type of a psychopathic government like the Australian government promotes an Australian of the Year that promotes this type of criminal behavior? It's not only the snake. See, the snake oil salesman, the classic con man, right? They weren't giving you something that I believe would actually hurt you. They'll just give you some magic water or something. You drink it. Oh, this will cure your cancer. Drink the magic water and nothing happens. And they scammed you out of some money. These people are actively promoting something that kills you. How is that not a crime? Yet during the lockdowns, anyone that questioned the mandates would get cancelled. They would have people knocking on the doors. They would have people arresting them. Yet this is doing more harm, and we make them Australian of the Year. The only thing I can think of is to promote becoming overweight so that you die before you get to cash out your superannuation so the government can steal it from you. It is in line with what's happening worldwide. You can see it with France just increased the age of retirement. This is happening across the world. They want to make sure that people work until they're 70 or 80 even. In Japan, there's people in their 70s still working. You never get to retire in some parts of Japan if you just never get ahead. And in the West, we're increasing the retirement age so you cannot get hold of your own superannuation savings. This just makes the government's job easier. They don't need to worry about increasing the retirement age, because if they can convince you to make decisions that kill you, their job's easier, right?
With this surgery, I did end up getting it removed in the US.
A tummy tuck to remove excess skin and fat that was getting seriously infected all the time.
It was just giving me enough problems where I looked into getting my lower stomach removed. Yes, I had it removed.
Her lower stomach was removed. 6 years promoting this stuff. And she's not even 30, guys. She's not even 30. Anyone promoting this is a criminal.
And to top it all off, the granddaddy of weight loss surgeries, a gastric bypass.
I just had gastric bypass about 10 days ago.
How do you not see a problem with promoting this lifestyle that will eventually lead to having all of these procedures?
Oh, man. Yeah. She's fearless here. She's fearless, girls. Don't listen to all the bad, don't listen to all the bad people telling you to improve your life. Have a healthy lifestyle. The people who actually care about you. Oh, man.
Procedures done, some of which she even tried to hide out of fear for a backlash and loss of income.
I'll never forget when I talked to her about it. I told her, I'm like, look, I feel like I need to share this. And she told me it would affect my body positive brand.
It's criminal behavior. That's criminal behavior. So what, she was talking to who? Her manager? So she's grifting on the internet, telling people a message that is hurting them, and the manager's like, no, you can't do anything about this because we're making money, or hurt your brand. Isn't that a crime?
To having all of these procedures done, some of which she even tried to hide out of fear for a backlash and loss of income.
I'll never forget when I talked to her about it. I told her, I'm like, look, I feel like I need to share this. And she told me it would affect my body positive brand.
Isn't that a crime? You're promoting something that's hurting people, and then you discover that it's hurting you. You'd have to be an idiot to not know this in the first place. But to get to the point where it's actually hurting you, and no matter how stupid you are, you can just see through your own experiences that what you are promoting is hurting not only you, and therefore by default has to be hurting everybody else that follows you. And then when you discover that, just covering it up, it's like the cigarette salespeople promoting cigarettes, discovering that it causes cancer, and just not telling anyone, covering it up, continuously promoting cigarettes while people are dying around them. That's a crime. And the Australian government's complicit in this.
And that it wouldn't be smart to share. And at that time too, there's a lot of financial pressure. I didn't want to mess up my brand and my career.
Just think about that. She actually promoted a lifestyle, any type of acceptance.
Insanity. So selfish.
That in just 7 years led to her needing gastric bypass surgery to undo all of the damage done to her body, even though she was posting like this every single month.
Hey, it's time. We're jiggling. We're flapping. And we don't.
You can hear her breathing. She's losing her breath just standing there.
Don't give a damn.
To post this type of content knowing you're unhappy about the state of your body and all the medical problems that you're dealing with is absolute madness, and she's not even the only one doing this. Here's another influencer promoting body positivity for years, saying that she's happy and that she's healthy, and that you too can be happy and healthy at every size. But watch how all of a sudden all these problems pop up, and her entire messaging changes when she wants to have weight loss surgery.
Yes, I have decided I'm going to have the gastric sleeve surgery for
These people are evil. They are evil.
many different
Unbelievable.
reasons. Me personally, my hormones are all over the place. They kind of always have been.
Just imagine an influencer signs a major brand deal with a cigarette company and does product
I did not see this beforehand, guys. I did not see this. Oh, man. Connecting the dots.
placement in all of their videos by smoking a bunch, and then 7 years later, they pop into a clinic and get a lung transplant. That's exactly how f***ed up this whole body positivity situation is. I mean, it's great for the influencer. They can simply press Command Z or Control Z and spend thousands of dollars in surgery and recovery, but how many of their fans have this same option? And are these fans even aware of all the problems that await them? Now, to be clear, I don't care that these two had weight loss surgery.
So she mentioned hormone problems as well. Now, when we have a look in the with the when we have a look at how women in the West have been acting kind of like children, unhinged, insane children. You kind of look at this and think, okay, so these people, they're unhealthy, which is damaging their minds. It's damaging their hormones. It's damaging everything about them and making them more and more unhinged. These are the people who vote. These are the people who are chucking tantrums online. Yeah, these people are they're unhinged. They're eating themselves to death, and it's more common than we think. You look at all the fast food places. You go for a walk in, like, obviously in the United States, it's bad. It's not so bad in Australia. It's really bad in Britain as well. But you see, these people, when they become unhinged, they put on weight, they eat bad food, it damages their hormones, which damages the way they think, it damages their mind. Someone who is unhealthy, with an unhealthy body, that eats poorly, has an unhealthy mind as well. These are the same people who are voting in the West. These are the same women that struggle to have children around 30 because their hormones and their body just can't handle it. This hurts our ability to reproduce in the West as well, not to mention they're unattractive and no one wants to take them seriously and marry them and have kids with them. And so when you have a look at all of these effects of the governments in the West, and you compare it to many other countries that, especially in Asia, a lot of the countries in Asia, I would say they put forward a lot of messaging that is helpful for society, because most of those countries are full of one people. In China, it's full of Chinese people, you see. In Japan, it's full of Japanese people. And Japanese don't want to hurt other Japanese. They don't vote in a government that hurts other people within their own country because they're seen as that one big group. You look at Indonesia. The Indonesians generally, it's a bit more of a connected with a bit more immigration. It's a bit more diverse. But generally, Indonesians are Indonesian. They don't want to hurt. They don't want to put in a government that hurts the people. But in Australia, we now have, and the United States and Britain, they have governments in place that are actively lying to their people to hurt them. They're actively trying to convince us to do things that hurt us. You can't get citizenship in any of these Asian countries anymore. They're not going to let you in. Yet we're letting everybody into Australia. This is all happening, and it's divide and conquer. And I see this body positivity as a strategy by the government to make sure that you die before you get to cash out your superannuation, so they can pocket it. Massive conspiracy. This is a massive conspiracy. But it makes sense to me. And so far, the conspiracy theorists are 100 to 1 over the last 2 years. We've got it all right. Anyway, this is a magnificent video, by the way. FBE Capital. If you happen to watch this, DM me.
Surgery,
have you on.
that in itself is their own choice. However, what I do care about are two things. First, they are selling a falsehood of being happy and healthy while they were clearly not.
But I know I need to get some of this excess weight off me because I'm not feeling good anymore.
And second, the source of their unhealthy and unhappy state was in large parts caused by their eating and lifestyle choices, the very same choices and lifestyle they were selling to their audience and making money off. This girl in 2015 would have never needed gastric bypass surgery if she had maintained a healthy lifestyle of regular exercise.
How much money did this scammer make? Too many people online have zero morals. You noticed over the last 7 years I've been on this channel, I have been contacted by unlimited amount of sponsorship deals. I'm not getting many clicks these days, but I was getting clicks before. I was getting a lot of emails, and I didn't take any of them because I was trying to do the right thing. These people are fucking evil. They're so evil. If she knew back then, which would have taken 2 seconds, or even read some of the comments, being overweight is not healthy, seeing the doctor and asking the doctor, is this okay? that I promote this to thousands or hundreds. I don't know how popular she was. Maybe she was super popular, promoting this to hundreds of thousands of people, and hundreds of thousands of women decided to increase their weight and not do anything about it. They would all be in the exact same position she is in today, dying, unable to have kids, hormone problems, major surgeries to correct all of these bad decisions, not having the ability to have kids in most cases too, which is hurting the demographics, which means we need more immigration as well, becoming a burden on the health system. It's almost comedic when you think about how stupid this is.
Exercise and normal calorie intake, which is exactly the thing that she had to do before being allowed to have gastric bypass surgery.
They're starting to kind of check your eating habits, and like I was starting to lower my starch intake. I went on a liver shrinking diet, which was low fat and low carb. And I thought that was going to be a lot harder than it was. Like, it kind of scared me. I was like, oh my God, like no carbs. But, you kind of find a groove. Like, I could eat like lean protein. I love chicken.
See how insane this is? For years, you argue against the very same thing, which leads to you needing bypass surgery.
And she was probably arguing against it because she was brainwashed by the feminists as well, the fembots, the ones that were telling her that anyone that criticizes you is the patriarchy. The patriarchy's holding you down. So you need to push back against it. This is my fourth boiled egg. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm already full.
And then in order to get the bypass surgery, you need to change your eating habits and become more active. Now, the irony of this whole disaster is that these influencers basically create their own little torture chambers with their social media platforms and their web of lies about their actual health.
Like, this space, this channel has become really negative for my mental health. This video is so vulnerable right now. Like, I'm like literally just like shaking. I'm so nervous right now because I've thought about filming this, and like I'm so afraid of like being canceled over something like this. I never wanted to share this, but I get why people were upset that I didn't. Suffering mentally, like my mental health has not been well.
So this lady has been selling some real bull for several years. However, now that she wants to start a family, and now all of a sudden she's willing to deal with reality.
I'm just ready to feel good and get in a good place so I can start a family.
Yeah, because she can't have kids because she's too overweight.
Been talking about starting a family, and I told him, I'm like, look, like I am having so much lower back pain. I'm having knee pain, some ankle pain, like when I go downstairs, like I'm not feeling good, and like I don't think I'm comfortable with us starting a family now. Like,
this is what Australian of the Year is promoting. Insanity. It's there's a bit of Schadenfreude kicking in. I'm just laughing at their misfortune. The real insulting aspect of Taryn Brumfitt is when I had a look at her background, her brother died from a drug overdose due to whatever reasons there, which I would suspect, and a lot of people out there in the real world would suspect as well, is connected to this delusional behavior here where men are being shat on in society. Yet instead of trying to do something good in the world, she decided to promote something that will kill more people. Because she is sick. This woman is sick. If 6 years ago she started eating healthily, doing a bit more exercise, maybe she could have started up a fitness channel for chubby girls or something and worked it off, she wouldn't be where she is now. Look at the size of the double chin. Knee pain, back pain. The other one, when she sits down, her skin goes blue through poor blood circulation, hormonal issues. She wants to have children. She didn't actually tell us why she needs to lose weight. She should also say that being overweight has done something to her reproductive whatevers. Clearly, this is hurting her ability to reproduce and have kids.
Until I can feel better.
So now that they want weight loss surgery, these body positive and fat acceptance influencers have no problem following these so-called fat phobic guidelines of eating a normal calorie amount and pursuing an active lifestyle. When you are only focusing on how amazing it is to be plus size and that you are living your best life, as they say, claiming that everything is fine, then yes, it's going to look like you only did it for the money, since you were clearly not happy at all and you were definitely not healthy.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's grifting is the disgusting part here as well. The fact that you know that you're promoting something that is actively killing people is disgusting. FBE Capital, I might have to check out that other video that he promoted, because I have to check that one out. Well, it's got dark in here. I didn't turn the lights on. There's I would like to go one step further here with these next two things here. Here we go. This is what I want to talk about here as well. Now, Australian of the Year is promoting being overweight and body positivity. We've now seen the negative results of that. Let's have a look at what else the government is now starting to promote. January 31, 2023, voluntary assisted dying will be available to more Australians this year. Here's what to expect in 2023. Now, if you promote getting fat when you're in your 20s, the government does that. These people promote this. And then you where are we going? There we go. By the end of 2023, you'll be able to promote for assisted dying. Yay! We get to kill ourselves. Imagine if in your 20s you follow one of these rotten grifters, because that's what they are. They're scam artists, they're grifters promoting body positivity and getting overweight. You have hormonal issues. You have physical problems. You discover that you cannot have children because of it. You discover that you have knee pain, back pain, chronic pain due to being overweight. You need to have major surgeries, and on the cusp of actually trying to lose some weight, do some exercise, do the surgeries, and fix your life up before you hit around 30, before it's too late, before you start having heart operations, etc. You're like, hang on, this is too difficult. You get to the point where you just think, this is too difficult. What have I done to myself? Don't worry, guys. The government has a solution for you. You can now kill yourself at 30. I don't know. Maybe you can't kill yourself at 30. Maybe there's an age. Maybe there's an age bracket on this thing. Oh, 70%, 65 or older. Just before, guys, just before you get to take home your superannuation, the government's going to help you die so that they can take your superannuation, while simultaneously promoting divorce in the country so that you die alone, so you've got no one to hand all of your assets over to, and then they're going to help you die. We seriously are living in the Matrix. You can't make this stuff up. When you connect the dots of what they are doing to you, it is insanity. It is insanity. It's almost comedy. And if this was a massive conspiracy theory, I would bet this would be far more accurate than the possibility of you dying from a flu. So this is a several pronged attack. On this channel, I've also covered the fact that we have mass African immigration, and there's a psyop on all of the advertisings throughout Australia. That means you go to almost any shop has Africans there, even though there's not enough Africans to justify it. Almost every product that I see promoted on YouTube, in the city, anywhere in Australia, is promoting Africans. It's like, yeah, we're getting a lot of Africans in. We all know that statistically, it's been proven that African communities have a higher rate of murders, violence, etc. That's statistically proven. That's science. That's just as much science as you being overweight is not good for you. And so the government's also going to increase crime so that it's more dangerous for you to go outside. I've seen unlimited amount of attacks of elderly people in the United States, especially against Asians in the United States by African Americans. That's going to increase the death rate of older people as well. Crime rate does kill people. That's what seems like the government is planning for you, to make it dangerous for you to go outside, promote bad health, promote terrible things to you so that you become overweight and you die from health problems. You go outside, you're more likely to get bashed because now we have a violence in the street and African immigration increasing the crime rate on top of that. But when you get a little bit older and you start feeling a little bit sick, what we're going to do is we're going to help you commit suicide, assisted death or euthanasia. Now we have this happening in the mainstream media as well. Can you guys see this? Let me check the chat. I haven't checked the chat. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, this is a TV show called Last of Us. I don't know The Last of Us. I think it is like a survival sort of a game or TV show, something episode. There we go. Last episode of Last of Us. I might have to check it out after this. It was also based on a video game. When we go through, where is it? I found this. This is juicy. This is so juicy. Unbelievably juicy. So, actually, hang on. Why the Last of Us episode was getting slammed with 1-star reviews. This article is a psyop by the Sydney Morning Herald. They are saying that it is, I think they're saying that it was homophobic. Okay, so the US was infected with a fungus outbreak. People became zombies. There it is here. So they've been hit with a lot of 1-star reviews. And they're insinuating here that it is LGBTQI, whatever, stories, maybe homophobia, when in fact, oh my God, yes, push the homosexual. See, this is what the article's saying, but that's not the reason why people were annoyed at this. People were annoyed at this this ending series, this last episode of the series, because what it promoted was suicide. It promoted assisted suicide or euthanasia, doing it to yourself. When life gets too hard, just commit suicide. That was the basic premise of this last episode. The psyop here is they're trying to cover it up. It's just propaganda. They're getting all of these down votes. They got some up votes, but they got all of these 1-star reviews. Look, almost 30,000 people gave it a 1-star review. And my understanding is it is because, oh, look, they're being called misogynistic and homophobic. Isn't when you're called a homophobic, misogynist, you know that you are the right person. You're doing the right. you're saying something that is right, because that is just a slander on you. When I looked through this, I discovered that the main reason was that they were promoting suicide. So there's this psyop going on worldwide where they're talking about assisted suicide when life gets too tough. It's almost like promoting that when life gets too tough, just kill yourself. And that all ties in. It's all connected. All of this is connected. You go all the way back to the Australian of the Year promoting body positivity, which is exactly the same as promoting smoking. You get overweight, you're more likely to die before you reach 40. You become seriously sick before you're 40. You die before you're like 50 or 60. You pay taxes all of those years. Those grifters that were promoting body positivity would have been making a lot of money, and then they would have been spending it. They also would have been paying taxes to the government. They would have been benefiting from this psyop. It's all connected. But anyway, I can't believe I started this when the sun was out. But anyway, I don't see anyone in the back. As usual, I offer people the opportunity to come on for a chat when I have this. Trying to go live as much as I can. The plan is to start up another channel that hasn't been hit, and avoid saying or doing things that are controversial on that channel. And when I do some traveling, filming what I get up to, I think I'd be able to build a channel that isn't hit with shadow banning, etc. I'll obviously share it on here when I do, and I'll keep this as more the live channel where you guys can come on, say whatever you want. When I build up the other channel, you can go nuts on this channel. I can say whatever I want when I build up this the second channel, and then if anything happens to this channel, it doesn't matter, does it? You guys can contact me on my Instagram, Dave Lee Travel. You can DM me there if you want to get involved in the kind of red pill sort of. You want to start up your own social media and start bitching about everything like what I do. Join the team. I've got multiple guys out there that have started. DM me. I spend my own time to help you to build it up. It's not only this channel that I built. I have helped a large amount of people build massive audiences. So I do know what I'm talking about. Doesn't mean that I'm the best in the world, but if you're new to social media, you want to get involved and start talking about these things. I noticed that Australia is very different to the United States. If I was in the United States, there'd be a large enough population that would be supporting me and I'll be able to build it. That's just not possible in Australia. The Australian people love the mainstream media. And I don't think that's going to change. They're going to be brainwashed, and I don't think that's going to change at all. So instead, the more of you that get online and start, adding your 2 cents, if you follow me, that means that there's a good chance that you're kind of on my level when it comes to seeing all the propaganda and how the government's not exactly your friend. So I have no problem with helping you guys build up your own social media and building following and getting as many people out as possible. What is this question? Why no heated vids YouTube? No heated. I don't understand that question. But anyway, guys, I think this was a good video. I wanted to talk about it. I'm going to end it now. I'll see you guys later, hey?